Alrighty, so what I've done is I've logged out of the dispatch software on the computer, and I'll show you the app. So there is an app available for your phone. This is my spare Galaxy S6. Big push to talk button on the phone. Testing 1 2 3 4. Let's try that again. Testing 1 2 3 4. And you can see it says dispatch as the current caller on both radios, listening for dispatch. So I can actually use my push to talk button on here. You can actually assign a hard button on the side of the phone as well. Test 1 2 3. So I'm actually using that to talk. And receive as well. Radio 1 is speaking, 1 2 3 4.
Radio 1 is speaking, 1 2 3 4.
So as you heard, you can hear me coming through my mobile phone. Radio 1 testing 1 2 3 4.
Testing 1 2 3 4.
Very handy. I've also got my own SOS button I can activate, which will alert all the radios. You can change groups, etc. You've got the map view, so you can use this on your phone as well. You've got last location. There you go, radio 2, radio 1. Shows you exactly where both the radios are that I've got here. Obviously you can zoom in, street addresses, lat and longs, everything else. You can also, I've got both radios turned on here. You can also talk to one radio without talking to both. So if I only want to talk to radio 2, I just go here.
Radio 2.
You can turn that voice off. Now if I transmit.
Private call successfully.
1 2
Enter.
1 2 3 4. So right now, well, the volume's too loud. I'm only going through one radio and not the other. 1 2 3 4. You'll see it saying dispatch there, and it's not saying anything on the other radio because it's not receiving me. So if I want to have a private call with somebody, I can do that. I can just call one radio individually without any other radios on the network listening. Then it's just a matter of going back,
Exit private call
exit the
successfully.
private call.
Enter group 1.
It records all your messages as well, so you can go back.
It's not saying anything on the other radio because it's not received. 1 2 3 4. And 1 2 3.
As you can see, you can go back in, pick what radio you want to listen to, recorded voice messages. It's got settings. Yeah, like I said, you've got the map your map locator. You can track. There's the emergency alarm that was set off just before. You can see I've been walking around this place here. So yeah, so this is quite a handy little tool to have. Just having the app. So if you had a fleet and you didn't have anyone in the office all the time, as a fleet manager or a fleet owner, you could actually just use the app on your phone when you went out to dinner of a night or something like that. You can still keep in touch with your fleet and your users using the network that might be working, say a security company, something like that. Someone activates their SOS alarm, it'll show up on the phone. I'll show you here. We'll do it again.
Radio 1 synthesis.
There we go. As you can hear, the alarm goes off. Sorry about that. Radio 1. Okay. And then you can just go and find out where it was. Yeah, I've got all this crap on here, as you can see, because I've been walking around. You can see where it says SOS, date and time, and you can actually track that down. That's just on the phone. So that's quite a handy app to have. Just with the PTT, and that'll keep going until I reset this radio. So what you'd normally do there is call the radio user up and say, you've activated your SOS, can you reset it? Or once you find them, just push the button again and it'll reset, and just cancel out of it on the phone or on the dispatcher software. Well, so that's basically it in a nutshell. They also make mobile radios, just so you can fit them in a vehicle and they stay in a vehicle. Handhelds are great. You can get speaker microphones for them. You can get leather cases. Like I said, very happy with the quality. Very beneficial in Australia for fleets, small and large, tow trucks, security companies, I don't know, courier services, limousines, all sorts of things. Like I said, you use the existing Telstra infrastructure. If their network goes down there, they've got backup plans where they wheel in cell on wheels, or cows as they call them, They've got backup generators, all sorts of things to try and keep them on the air. So these should be more reliable than a normal radio network. However, if something does fail, you can always go to UHF CB if you purchase this one and talk on simplex or through a CB repeater. So, you know, this might be handy for surveyors and things like that might use the VoIP or PTTOC network to talk around Australia to each other or around the state or even the city. But when they're on site, they might be in a regional area and they don't have phone reception all of a sudden. So they can still talk to each other on CB channels, on simplex, you know, they're down the end of the street, things like that. Traffic controllers, this might be very handy. Like I said, you've got the alarm button on there, so if anything happens, you just push that. It'll show up on the dispatch software or on the mobile phone app or whoever's managing you, and show them exactly where you are, what direction you're heading, what speed you're traveling at, so forth. So you can be tracked down and located and hopefully rescued or saved if that is the case. Otherwise you'll get told off if you've pushed it by accident, but you do have to push it down and hold it. So, you know, it is, you know, it doesn't just come on accidentally. This one's got a little LED torch on it. Rightio, and that's it in a nutshell. When I get a chance, I'm going to try and do some proper reviews on this. So anyway, I think this system will be very good. So lastly, you have to buy the hardware. It's not that expensive. I think the UHF radio is about $600 plus GST. The VoIP only radio, they're around $470 plus GST. Once you buy them, they're yours. Like I said, with the UHF CB one, even if you don't keep using the VoIP PTTOC access, you can still use it purely as a UHF CB radio, and go back in and connect up whenever you need. You might be going away for a month or want to use it for a special event for a month or something. You can just put your radios back on the air on the push to talk network just for that month. There's no minimum contract, just do it month by month. So the access fees or the license for each radio is around $25 per month per radio. That includes data and the SIM card. So we put the SIM card in there, has data on it, which covers you and that radio user for the entire month. So, you know, quite cost effective as well, especially if you're already forking out $3,000 or $2,000 a month for your existing network. Again, depending on how many radios you have. This has loads of features, a lot more than I've mentioned here, a lot more features. But anyway, when I get a chance, I'll do a better in-depth review and information session. I'll better get back on the road now. I'll catch us all later. Hooroo.